You can actually cheese the Heigan the Unclean fight. This is of course the fight in Naxxramas where all of the casters are up here on this platform and your tank needs to move the boss around this little section pretty much so that you can do the Heigan dance. But if you end up not killing the boss fast enough, he actually teleports into a phase 2, which will drastically decrease your DPS. It pretty much means going from like 8k DPS to 4k DPS by the end of the fight because you're just sitting there waiting for him to die and waiting for the phase to end. Well, you can actually cheese this fight and almost always ensure that you kill the boss before he actually goes into phase 2. Now, the entire strategy behind this is due to the fact that you take so incredibly little damage from his actual Heigan dance ability. The only thing that's actually doing much damage to anyone is if they don't get dispelled. Dispels are going to be massively crucial, but the actual damage you take from the little goo coming up from the ground, if your entire raid is dispelled, is pretty much absolutely non-existent. So the best strategy is actually going to be to flip everything you thought in a circle. And instead of fighting Heigan down and doing the Heigan dance, having your tank move the boss all the time, you actually fully want all of your DPS to be up here and fight the boss in his normal spawn location. Now, all of your casters will sit down all below, as you can see up top, and they will be just pretty much eating that AoE damage that comes up from the bottom of the floor. They will still keep pumping the boss, but all of your melee DPS will not have any downtime whatsoever, and everyone will be up here just basically fighting the boss. A lot of the damage you're gaining from doing this strategy is actually pure uptime. If the boss is moving a lot, your melee are going to lose out on a little bit of uptime throughout the fight, and that is a huge DPS loss. But also their pets are going to absolutely die, and pets are huge right now in Wrath of the Lich King. As we know, you kind of have gargoyles doing something like 200,000 damage. If pets live and are actually dispelled, then you will do so much more damage to this fight. And that's for all of your unholy DKs, but not just them. Anything like druids with Trents, anything like all of your warlocks, everything that has a pet class will just pump this fight now instead of everything just dying, as you're seeing in the right side right now, to these actual little poisons that come from the ground. One thing that's vitally important as well is always going to be if you can rotate concentration aura and aura mastery, because your casters might lose out on some DPS, getting some knockback if you actually get hit by this little poison. I'm not 100% sure if it hits a knockback, but what you would like to do then is just rotate aura mastery. This boss is extremely quick and you'll kill him absolutely before he teleports if you do this strategy. And if you're not doing this strategy, you are 100% not parsing this fight anymore. If there's any fights in the game that have 2 phases and you don't 1 phase them, you're pretty much never going to get a 99 anymore. Please, if you're something like a Shadow Priest or Ret Paladin, I know this sucks to say, basically anything that has a dispel that can help in this fight, then please do it, because your main healers usually running 2 now, maybe you have 3, and then there might be some wiggle room, but their whole job is making sure that people aren't dying right now. But if you're losing out on having all of your pets die, then you're missing out on insane amounts of damage on this fight. So just make sure you utilize this. This is the Heigan cheese strategy, and it will greatly increase your DPS on this fight and increase your parse. Anyways, guys, new video out tomorrow. I'll catch you all on the next one.